Vicki Lawrence. My name is Vicki Lawrence. My name is Vicki Lawrence.
My name is Vicki Lawrence.
I guess I shouldn't have had that burrito for lunch. No, it actually is me because I've got the hair color bill to prove it. Actually, guest number one, would you please tell us what your name is and what you do?
Yes, hi. I'm Joanne Worley, and I've had the... Thank you! I've had the privilege of touring across this wonderful United States doing the fabulous songs and shows of Mr. Jerry Herman.
Well, guest number two.
Hi, my name is Lorna Luft, and I went on a concert tour singing the magnificent songs of the one and only Jerry Herman.
And guest number three.
Hi, my name is Carol Channing, and I thank you. I sang Jerry Herman's Hello Dolly on Broadway.
Yes, you did. Carol, you've got to have great Hello Dolly stories. Did you ever have...
She is Hello Dolly.
Yes, but I want to hear the dirt.
Oh, thank you.
I want to hear the disaster. First of all, you did how many performances? 1,000?
No, we lost count after over 3,000 performances.
Over 3,000?
Yes, we went all over the world, and we just... also, we never played to an empty seat. Isn't that heaven?
I know you did.
That's a nice feeling, isn't it?
You little money maker, you.
Jerry Herman did it, the words and the music.
I know, but tell us horror stories.
Oh, a horror story?
Yeah,
the first one that comes to my mind, the first one, Vicki, is Before the Parade Passes By. Now, I've heard you sing that. It isn't as if she hasn't sung the entire score. She just never got paid
She just
for
never
it.
did.
Benefits.
Oh,
yes.
Or us.
So, Lorna Luft, we were doing Before the Parade Passes By. And there's a ramp in Hello Dolly.
Right.
Yes. So I went down on the ramp and walked right off it. Into the audience, in the St. James Theater in New York, into the audience. I dropped into a fat lady's lap. She was the sweetest, softest thing. I was so happy that I landed in her lap, and I bounced and came up and thought, now I've got to get back up there, and the chorus was still singing it. So I thought, I know, I'll go up the aisle, and I'll go around to the back to the stage door and come back in. So I went up the aisle where the policeman is with the horse out in front, you know, and he said, you ought to be better. I said, no, I'm gonna... So I went back to the stage. I knocked on the stage door, and the stage door man, he said, who is it? With the door locked. I said, Carol Channing. He said, oh, no, she's on stage. Right now, she's on stage. So I ran around, came down the aisle.
Are they still singing
They're still singing. Well, you know how long that number is. Then they modge, and then they go, you know, they modge. Don't you love that in Nashville? When you modulate, they modge in Nashville. They modge up, you know? So they
go up a key.
Yeah, that's it. So they're still singing, and the chorus formed a line by holding each other's waists, and I was down on stage right, and I was standing there, and Charlie Carroll reached for me like a wet herring. He pulled me up, and the chorus pulled up. He pulled, and he said, everybody hang on to me. They all did, and they pulled back, and I got to the center stage for Passes By. I thought, well, of course, it's going to take the house down. They'll think it's the most remarkable thing they ever saw. And no, they just applauded. They thought
that was the way the number was.
Interesting Gower champion choreography.
Very interesting.
Isn't that the end? Yes.
Now, listen, I think that it is time to meet the man that we've been talking about. He has won Tony Awards, he's won Grammy Awards, he's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. I can't find anybody who will say a bad word about him, so let's get him out here. Please welcome the legendary Jerry Herman.
Thank you. Thank you.
There are so many things to talk to Jerry about. One of these women actually told me that he gave her a diamond ring. We'll get to the bottom of that when we come back.
I think I know the answer to that one.
Yes? You think? I was just going to say, I have a large ring finger.
What's that on?
And speaking of coming backstage, Carol, you have a wonderful story about Irving Berlin coming backstage.
He came 3 times a week, Irving Berlin, to see Hello Dolly, just for the Dolly number. He'd go in standing room with 2 young men to hold him up, 1 on each side. He was so old, and nobody ever saw Irving Berlin. And do you know that the house manager said, would you like to meet Jerry Herman? He's always in Carol's dressing room. And he said yes, and he came back. He walked right past me, opened the door, paid no attention to me, went straight to Jerry, and he said, young man, you are the future of Broadway. And he walked out. Isn't that wonderful?
You want to talk about the thrill of a lifetime? That was it.
I would
because
imagine.
he was my idol.
Oh, sure. I would imagine he's every
People hadn't
songwriter's
seen him
idol.
for 50 years, Vicki.
Yeah.
I mean, he just stayed alone. Oh, wasn't that something?
Oh.
Yeah. Tell us about putting Angela Lansbury in Mame.
Well, when we were casting Mame, our darling Carol Channing was busy with Dolly, and so she was not available, and we started looking at every other lady in show business. And one day I said, why don't you get Angela Lansbury to fly in and let's see what she looks like. I once saw her in a musical, and I thought she was great, and producers thought I was crazy.
Did you know her?
No, I never met her. I had
knew
seen her
of
in Anyone Can Whistle, a musical that just ran a short time, but she was terrific in it. So they did it as a favor to me. They really didn't think it was a good idea, the producers. And there at my door arrived Angela Lansbury, and I knew the second I opened the door that she would
she was Mame.
That she was Mame. And so I made a pact with her. I taught her 2 songs from the score. None of the other ladies who auditioned had the privilege of knowing those songs. So we went into the Winter Garden Theater. I snuck down into the pit and got to the piano. The producers didn't know that I was down there. And she got up on stage, and she was the only voice that had ever sung those 2 songs except mine. And that's not very pretty, you know. And so there she was, singing these songs with somebody playing them in the pit. And they fell out of their seats. She got the role, and then I waved at them from the pit.
Gave them the thumbs up.
And
Good choice, men.
Oh, yeah. And that's how she got the part.
So you have to battle the suits just like everybody else,
Like everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Always
everybody else.
still?
Not as much
now.
anymore. You know, they kind of listen to me now. But I was a kid, and Carol knows better than anybody that experience in this business makes you respected.
Yes.
Not really talent or work, but experience. And I didn't have it at that time. But it was a wonderful experience.
So does Angela pretty much thank you for changing the course of her career?
Oh, we became darling friends, and it made a glamorous singing star out of what had already been a great character actress.
Yeah, but just a character actress.
But it changed her image to
I
this
just thought,
glamorous, gorgeous lady with a big belt voice. And
so who else auditioned?
well,
What? Who?
Present company accepted.
Well, I didn't know that you were.
I was a child. I was a babe.
But you were Carol's understudy in.
Vicki, here's the difference. I was a standby. Do you know the difference between a standby and an understudy? $500 a week.
You and I have been friends for like too long.
Well, actually, our husbands have knew each other before us because Roger was at Universal as a contract player.
How is Roger?
Oh, he's just fine.
Well,
we dated for many years before. I dated a lot of people in Hollywood. You didn't ever date Roger, did you? He went with every girl.
Roger, but Al was a grip over at Universal.
Well, I know Al very well. He and I were very good friends.
How well?
Very well.
Well, I think that you and I should go spend a little time alone because girlfriends
I'm taller than you.
Now and again.
I could deal with this.
I'd like to have a little word alone with you.
All right.
Yes.
What would you like to discuss,
I
Vicki?
don't know.
Well, our friendship. You know, we're lucky. We've been friends for so long, and it's the wonderful thing about our friendship, Vicki, is that we can say anything to each other.
Yes. Just be careful what you say, Joanne.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. body. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious.
Oh, if I call you uncouth, it's simply that. Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell you the truth? Go ahead.
Though now and again I'm aware that my candid opinion may sting.
Though often my frank observations might scald. You know, I've been meaning to tell you for years, Vicki, you should keep your hair natural, like mine.
If I kept my hair natural like yours, Joanne, I'd be bald. But, darling, we'll always be dear companions. My crony.
My mate?
We'll always be harmonizing. Oh, God, we're good. Orphan Annie and Sandy, like Amos and Andy. If I say that your sense of style's as far off as your youth,
Retro.
it's simply that. Who else but a bosom buddy will tell you the whole stinking truth?
I feel it's my duty to tell you. It's time you adjust to your age. You see, you try to be pig of my heart when you're Lady Macbeth. Exactly how old are you, Vicki? Now, come on, tell us the truth.
How old do you think?
I'd say somewhere between 40 and death.
But, sweetie, I'll always be Alice Toklas if you'll be Gertrude Stein. And though I'll admit I dished you, I gossiped and gloated, but I'm so devoted.
And if I say that sex and guts made you into a star, it's simply that. Who else but a bosom buddy will tell you how rotten you are? Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and level? We'll give you the devil. We'll sit down and tell you the truth. All right, madam. Merci. Maestro.
We're going to be right back.
Oh, come on.
Get out of the way. We're going to be right